Greetings, my name is Boris Petrovic. I am the founder and the president of the Nikola Tesla Institute in Brazil. We are today located in the city of Florianópolis in the south of Brazil, in one of the clinics that uses our GDV Tesla Bio digital bioelectrography technology that I will talk within this presentation. I am very grateful to the Council of Biofield Sceintists and the Energy Medicine Exchange Group for this invitation to be able to present. The topic of my short lecture today is Nikola Tesla and the increasing of human energy. I was born in Belgrade, in the old Yugoslavia, and since 7 years now I have been working through Brazil, founding the Nikola Tesla Institute, and I have met Dr. Thornton in Brasilia, the capital of Brazil, where we use the Biofield viewer for an interesting research topic, which is sacred medicine, and in the past energy medicine exchange online presentations, we have presented some of our findings using digital bioelectrography and the biofield viewer in the topic of sacred medicine, plants, and the use of psychedelics here in Brazil. Today I will present a little bit on the science basis of our work that involves research and development in new energy technologies, that is energy producing technologies, in wireless energy transmission, where we have various platforms being developed in our laboratory currently based in the city of São Paulo here in Brazil. And the third part, which mostly is in interest of the Energy Medicine Exchange Group, is the science and the technologies being developed in the area of the analysis of the human biofield. And also I will talk a little bit about our projects in the field of the technologies that are able to increase human energy in terms of microcosmos of a human being, and also macrocosmos in terms of planetary consciousness. So I have prepared a short presentation. We will commence talking about consciousness technologies and the basic physics of the human energy body. Our institution bears the name of one of the world's most famous scientists, Nikola Tesla, and his vision about new physics that is century old is still something that the current academia does not accept, but it really provides very important insights and explanations on the energy phenomena. So we, through the vision of Nikola Tesla, observe the human being as an electric instrument. The human body is electric in its essence. And Tesla was also one of the pioneers in electrotherapy. He started using high-frequency currents generated by his energy transmitting devices named Tesla coils more than a century ago. And he observed that they have therapeutic influences. So our fundamental research observes that the human being consists not only of the physical or chemical, but also a part of an electromagnetic spectrum that is irradiated through the body, electric machine, in a way that we are trying to explain, analyze, and visualize in various forms through technology, where we can bring the essential idea of a science and spirituality together. So we observe the human biofield as an energetic matrix that surrounds the human body. It directly links the cellular activity with the meridian pathways. This energetic aura is like a superhighway that allows the genes in cells to communicate at light speed and maintain a coherent, holistic intelligence in the organism. This biofield is not particular to humans since all living things possess it. And here at these graphs we have some diagrams and visualization where we can observe that there is a type of electromagnetic irradiation and glow at certain distances around the physical human body, and that there are also some geometric patterns that can be measured and quantified. So this is the basis of our work. We observe this distance also within the human body of certain pathways that traditional Chinese medicine are called meridians. These are observable and measurable with new technologies in the past decade. And these are a kind of electrical impulse flux channels that distribute and balance the energy mechanisms that really create whatever is electrochemical reaction in the human body. So our focus obviously is an evolution of the technologies that are able to observe these energy balances and fluxes through the energy channels called the meridians, and one of the first technologies that was able to observe the human energy body was the Kirlian photography. So our technology, which is called GDV Tesla Bio, that I will present also, is based on the Kirlian principle, but with a more evolved hardware and software and a method of calculation and quantification of energy glow of human energy body. So we observe that there exist on the human hand certain points that are connected with the energy channels called meridians throughout the body and internal organs. So this is the basis of the method of digital bioelectrography that we are applying. To understand really the human energy body, we need to observe not metaphysically but really scientifically that there exist certain vibrational centers in the physical body, and some intuitive graphics representations show really how the energy glow, this natural electromagnetism or a certain type of bioluminescence that we call biophotonic glow around the body has certain vibrations. These are connected to what is metaphysically termed as a chakra, but in reality, in biochemistry, it is really connected to the vibration of the human glands. So here at this graphic we have a representation that really demonstrates the connection of the human glands to whatever metaphysically is called chakra. So whenever I speak about Nikola Tesla, I repeat his words that were very important. So he said once, if you want to learn the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency and vibration. So the vibrational centers of the human body have their own frequency. Some human beings can control the flow of hormones from the glands consciously. Most of us only unconsciously observe variations in our body, which are connected also to various external influences. So this vibration, this frequency of discharge, we can see from the internal glands, is very important for the energy equilibrium of the human body. So once again, we work with antennas. So our basic research and development field is wireless transmission of energy, and through this work we have observed very many similarities in the function of the human body to our wireless energy transmitting antennas, and in the field of the human biofield, we now completely observe the human body as a human antenna, able to transmit and receive energy and information at various frequencies throughout all day and night. And we also have extensive research on how this human antenna relates to other energy transmitting sources that can be the ambient itself in terms of direct cosmic energy, sunlight, or whatever is the full spectrum of energy assimilation, even electromagnetic fields from the Earth itself. And also we did research observing the interaction, energy interaction and exchange in between human beings during various types of curing sessions, which some are very common here in Brazil in terms of indigenous culture and shamanistic practices. So as an engineer, I really try to bring whatever is metaphysical and even esoteric, but proved by thousands of years of experience into very practical designs and technology. Engineers know about the existence of the ionic liquid antenna, which is very similar to the electrochemical structures that are found in the human spine and brain. And here in this graphic we have a presentation of a plasma antenna, which is basically an ionizer, and frequency modulated signal is applied to an electrochemical dissolution in a tube. This type of chemical interaction we also find within the spinal cord, within the liquid of the spinal cord of the human. And this plasma antenna really can, with its efficiency, transmit and receive information, basic engineering. So whatever energy influencing effects and phenomena on the human antenna we can show scientifically and prove come from various continents, basically in research that was done in the Soviet Union, observing the phenomenon of telepathy and even clairvoyance, in which human subjects have been sensitive human subjects have been observed during experiments that showed the non-local interaction in between consciousness and even exchange of bioinformation through distant, physically separated through space human beings. So telepathy is a name coined from the Greek, meaning distant experience as an induction of mental states from one to another. And this research in the Soviet Union really paved in the past decades the understanding of global consciousness and consciousness phenomena, and some of the things that Nikola Tesla really started envisioning through his global wireless energy transmission system and his invention of radio, remote control, all of these inventions and his ideas really relate to the Earth electrical circuit, and the paradigm of the noosphere, as the Russian scientists explain it, as a planetary consciousness phenomena that we will talk a little bit further in this lecture. Whatever is perceivable as vibration and frequency through our sensory system is visible and audible. It's a very small part of the electromagnetic spectrum. Some animals have an increased awareness of electromagnetism through some genetical modifications, and even some humans, sensible humans, are more have more sensitivity to various types of electromagnetic spectrum. So we observe the reality of the human antenna through the interaction of the human organism and its sensibility to various types of electromagnetic radiation in the whole spectrum of frequencies. It has been shown in the past decades that humans are made of light. Nikola Tesla once said that light and sound are of the same essence. So the whole idea of the existence of an visible emission from a biological system, such as a human being, has been termed in biophysics as biophotonics. And through biophotonics, we have learned about the human light systems and how biophotons show that we are made of light. Technically, biophotonic cameras are instruments that are very sensitive cameras, digital cameras, that observe light in the visible and ultraviolet spectrum. These are not thermal cameras. They operate in complete darkness, and they are thermically isolated with refrigeration, so that there is none of thermal effects being observed. And here we have some images of very expensive biophotonic cameras from a Japanese laboratory, Kobayashi Biophoton Lab, that really show that a human body as a biological system emits light in complete darkness. And this phenomena in algorithms and approximations through the digital electrography and polycontrast imaging, basically we use to extract biomedical information from the living organism, depending on spectral analysis of the image. So I will only talk a little bit about our use of Biofield Viewer. We have found it very important to be able to observe in real time curing sessions and energy medicine applications, our various techniques that might be a little more exact in its quantification, like GDV, cannot still provide this real-time imaging visualization of phenomena where we can record a video of an approximation of the human biofield during 2 or 3 hours of session of some type of therapy practice. So we found important also to connect the information and the statistics of various types of instruments to really get an overall image, and that we can have a statistical exactness of processing the data of our experiment. One of them, obviously, historically was the Biofield viewer of Dr. Thornton Streeter and John Catchpole. We really liked the research and the idea that has been promoted by Dr. Thornton about the use of biofield viewer in imaging quartz crystals during experiments that have shown the interaction in between consciousness and matter, that show really through one of the methods that there can be really action at distance and interaction between mind and matter. And through this experiment, a group of people has been motivated to project good thought through time on a crystal, and we have really visualized here in this diagram from what we get from biofield viewer the effects of the environment. We must repeat, these are not thermal images. There is no exchange really in thermal parameters of the environment, but this captures the change in contrast around the crystal subject during time. One of the most important institutions which started in the Soviet Union, which I have extensively collaborated, is the Institute for Cosmic Anthropoecology in Novosibirsk in Siberia in Russia. And in the 80s and in the 90s, there has been extensive comprovation of cellular electromagnetic interaction. This here is one of the experiments that was done in Novosibirsk by Dr. Williem Lammers. You can see here that there was located a jar with a cell culture that was infected with a virus, and they located a physical barrier that cannot provide any kind of physical or chemical contact to this other cell culture, which was of the same type, but without any infection. And it was shown that if an ultraviolet passing glass was located on the barrier, that these ultraviolet photons acted as a carrier of cellular electromagnetic interaction. So the other cell culture, which was not infected through time, began capturing the energy information from the poisonous infected cell culture. So this shows really a transmission of energy information from one type of biological culture to another, that was done with no physical or chemical interaction, only electromagnetically. And even more, that ultraviolet radiation specifically was the carrier of this type of transmission. In terms of wireless energy transmission, we understand that ultraviolet radiation and corona discharges are very important for increasing of atmospheric conductivity, and this is something that Nikola Tesla has talked a lot about in his articles and patents. So somehow understanding energy processes from the macro scale to micro scale and the basic principles of biophysics and new physics are very important for the evolution of integral health as well. So here we have another device that was constructed in the old Soviet Union that really uses the same principle, understood in the laboratory of Dr. Kozyrev, that there exists a way to transmit energy information from one human subject, which is more than a cell culture, to another a human subject using a certain type of electromagnetic carrier even at a distance. So here we could locate in one of these devices that extracts through electromagnetic antenna information from a human biofield and then transmits to another subject that is ill for resistance. So if we are able basically to transmit at a distance illness, which was basic research of in the Soviet Union of psychotronics. It was really done seeking arms, but understanding these principles, we can also transmit a cure electromagnetically with this technology. So some of the important work of the institute in Novosibirsk was continued from the basic research from Nikolay Kozyrev, the great Russian scientist. He devised reproducible experiments that proved the existence of a new type of energy field that is beyond electromagnetism and gravity. This is something also that Nikola Tesla related to throughout the whole of his life in his publications, and he was one of the scientists that believed and experimentally proved the existence of a universal medium, which he named the ether, and that he thought could be used to transmit energy instantaneously at any distance without loss. So current electromagnetics does not understand any type of wave propagation or type of wave that can be able to do this. So one of the scientists that after Nikola Tesla thought in the same way was Nikolay Kozyrev, and he thought that this type of wave travels much faster than light, and he called it the flow of time. Some others called it the zero-point energy. Tesla called it the ether. And Nikolay Kozyrev thought that within this flow of time, the past, present, and future all exist at the same time and in every place. This discovery obviously sets the stage for all psychic phenomena to be scientifically explainable, and the continuation of the work of Kozyrev has been done in Novosibirsk through one of our associates, Dr. Alexander Trofimov, using what we call the Kozyrev mirror. It is a simple construction made of metal, aluminum, with its helicoidal enrolled structure, where you can locate human sensible subjects. So the enrolled metal, aluminum, decreases the potential of the Earth's magnetic field more than 600 times in turn. This has statistically and experimentally shown the increased ability of the human antenna to energetically interact with the environment. So the Kozyrev mirrors are installed in such a way as to create a closed space in which there is a weakening of the magnetic field of the Earth, and which thereby provides more human access to the information field. This was translated from Russian publications. What they do there, when they put a humanoid form of life in the Kozyrev mirror, there is observed a type of resonant teleportation of fundamental information and ability of consciousness of humanity and all the alien worlds. So Kozyrev mirrors reflect thought energy, which exists termed by Kozyrev in the flow of time. And this is the basic Russian work that shows human abilities of remote viewing, experiments across both distance and time. So these are researches into telepathy done in Russia, and it was also shown in between two groups that were distant 2,000 kilometers in Russia using these devices that a certain type of a visual character alphabet was created. It was not really experimenting telepathic thought transmission, but statistically approved with the certainty of 85% that the groups that were concentrating on receiving these symbolic messages that were transmitted very many times received the messages even a week before they were transmitted. So the overall non-locality does really work in a timeless space, as we can call it. This is also very important for the understanding of the energy information field that surrounds the human body, to be able to profoundly understand the energy transmission phenomena also related to medicine. Obviously, all of this is connected to the Earth's electrical circuit and the specific frequencies that the human body naturally works with, which are connected to the Earth's magnetic field. We know the existence of harmonics of what are called Schumann frequencies. It is an old history thing. Nikola Tesla has found the Earth's basic resonant frequency maybe 50 years before Schumann, but we call them Schumann resonances, which are frequencies from 8 Hz to 45 Hz that really are connected to the functioning of the human brain, which is part of the human antenna. So the human antenna is electromagnetically and even within frequencies related to the natural electromagnetism of the Earth, and this Schumann frequency is really related to the wavelength of the wave that covers the Earth's ionosphere. So we continue. The first part was really related to some basic scientific and biophysics and new physics principles. Now we will talk more about our work and projects and objectives within the institutions that I have founded and that I represent. And all these new insights in bringing science and spirituality together should have found already application in human habitat, which we believe is very important. I will only mention, probably most of the viewers understand that we collectively on this planet are going through a type of planetary transition process where our lack of consciousness on the energy principles and our involvement, energetic and vibratory, with the environment and its destruction of ecosystems is really bringing us to a kind of bifurcation point. Either we should evolve collectively or we will self-destruct. So through our work we have observed the necessity of application of new technology within new consciousness of the relation and interrelation of human as microcosmos to its environment, even with testing of new types of habitation We have observed the problems of electromagnetic radiation in the cities, and whatever work with energy medicine that we have done in nature reserves here in Brazil, for example. These are very pure, energetically areas covered with remote, distant national parks where only there are many plant and animal species and not so much of human civilization and pollution and electromagnetic pollution. So we have evolved a proposal that is a kind of a plan of ours, that what we want to do in terms of research and development and application of technology, and parts of this we're already doing with success. Some are still to come. And here you can see the 4 basic points. First is obviously integrated analysis of the human biofield, where we want to have locations like quantum imaging centers around the country, where we can provide many, up to 6, 7, or 8 commonly known technologies that are able to be used for energy diagnostics in a centralized information system, where they can be done statistics and even business intelligence through time, observing very many types of therapy practices, and still some of these are not even legal in terms of practicing medicine here in Brazil, obviously, in most of the countries, but this is changing. So we wanted to provide tools for holistic method certification, obviously through this integrated analysis of the human biofield, where many of these therapies can find its comprovation. And also we're working on research and development of technologies that are capable of altering the human biofield. Some of these are available as typical devices that are kind of electromagnetic radiation device on certain frequency that can alter energetic fluxes in the body, like Lakowski antenna or Rife. These are similar, but our focus really is what I will speak soon, is that really we want to do away with the idea of people going to the hospital, because hospital is something that treats illness. We work with energy medicine, so we work with energy balances and observing the state of the energy balance in the human body, so that there is really no need for the physical illness to manifest itself from the energy information if we put this integral strategy into place. So still we have to go to a locality to do type of diagnostics, but in future, using new technology that we're developing, we will be able to carry around this everywhere and even in our homes, so that there will be no need for medical assistance if we can really focus on real-time imaging of the energetic body and the influences from the ambient psycho-bioenergetics. All of this we can put into integrated systems, so that we can really apply this and also bioresonance technologies in habitation. So we have developed a small plan of a kind of energy medicine resort that we are seeking assistance to manifest as a project here in Brazil. So we have been seeking some parts that are energetically poor in terms of elements of nature, where we want to really provide a platform with all the technologies, and where we can bring therapists and scientists and people who can do lectures and courses, and also leave some of their technologies, which is connected to the working of our NGO, the Nikola Tesla Institute, and through the company that I have founded, which is called Tesla Energia. We are entering the commercialization of human vital energy analysis technologies like the GDV Tesla Bio, and providing biofeedback devices for holistic habitation and resorts that we call the interactive biodomes. So this is a kind of a project for the energy medicine resort. In our research with various types of devices and practices, we have understood that the human body is also a type of a free energy generator. If I have a little bit of time, I will talk about Tesla's ideas of free energy. They call Nikola Tesla the father of free energy because of his conflict with the ordinary science, where he observed this sea of infinite energy potential that he wanted to transmit energy, to use to transmit energy globally, freely available for every human being at any distance on the planet and even other planets. So we have observed through the practices of Rotarianism and living of light that there are really some unknowns in the energetic processes that literally feed energetically the human body. It all comes from the erroneous idea that Tesla confronted, that where energy is extracted from matter, which is our civilization problem, we still observe ownership of matter and monopolizing this ownership of oil or lithium for batteries, any type of matter that is sold through a controlled market to the population that is basically enslaved through this process. So Nikola Tesla's idea came from common Vedic metaphysics through his contact to Swami Vivekananda and his observation of nature and his intuition that really there is no need to extract energy potential from matter, and that the whole universe manifests itself through a type of geometric equation from energy. So any type of matter, any type of living system has its own existential frequency and its time flow in Kozyrev non-local space. And this can be stimulated also through technology. Nikola Tesla himself has said, I will quote, in his article Talking with Planets, 1901, "Why should a living being not be able to obtain all the energy it needs for the performance of its life functions from the environment instead of through consumption of food, and transforming by a complicated process the energy of chemical combinations into life-sustaining energy?" Something similar. Biophysicist Fritz Albert Popp also said, he said, "The organism is a light being, that is why it is theoretically possible for an organism to give up physical food." So our work with the global resonance and wireless energy transmission is also related to the human antenna. We observe the human body with some types of additions that could be types of clothes or wearable devices that can be powered through wireless energy transmission and that can interact also with the human biofield. So our idea is an integrated global energy system that involves not only transmission of energy to gadgets or electrical vehicles or flying discs, whatever, but also to the human biofield. This is a very important insight that Nikola Tesla fell short of explaining, but he used this very much understanding the effects on morphogenic fields of his resonant transmitting devices. So he said that all perceivable matter comes from a primary substance or tenuity beyond conception, filling all space, the akasha or luminiferous ether, which is acted upon by the life-giving prana or creative force, calling into existence in never-ending cycles all things and phenomena. So, the overall global electrical circuit relating to the human biofield and the electromagnetics interaction with the sun and the universe, it is all one resonant system acting through a type of morphic field. The concept of morphic resonance is explained as an influence of similar to similar through space and time, where there exists electromagnetic radiation interaction with biological systems and a certain type of quantum coherence in living systems. I will now talk a little bit about one of technology that we are developing, which is called GDV Tesla Bio, digital bioelectrography. Most of the pattern recognition of bioelectrographic images, and this research has been really done in Brazil by a decades-famed doctor called Dr. Newton Milhomes. He devised this Kirlian device with film, where he made thousands of photos in every type of spiritual practice in Brazil in the past decades. And out of this statistics, a method was devised on observing electrical discharges of high frequencies that stimulate gas around human fingers, and the high frequency discharge is observed that it has a certain skin effect. Every type of Kirlian or bioelectrography device essentially consists of a small Tesla coil, which is a high frequency current generator that is in turn passed through the fingers, and through which we can, through a mathematical algorithm, approximate the glow of energy meridians. So, excuse me for my Portuguese, but Dr. Newton Milhomes published these incredible books. This is one of the prototype of the GDV Tesla Bio devices. It has a very huge transparent electrode and a digital high-resolution digital camera. It is the device with the best quality of image, bioelectrograph image currently available in the world, and the largest electrode. So through this device we can capture biophotonic data from these charges on one finger, and where we can take photos of 10 figures each with the highest resolution. Because of the size of the electrode, in some practices where we have hundreds of people going through a kind of a certain therapy, we have found the need to use a pattern of recognition of bioelectrography discharges on 5 fingers, which is quicker in a smaller resolution. So we have this option to take photos of 1 or 5 fingers at the same time at the electrode. So the hardware here presented captures the bioelectrograph images, and we have software that is able to filter these images and do analysis according to the pattern developed by a very famous scientist, Dr. Korotkov, which is our partner in promoting the GDV technology and also commercialization of the equipment abroad. From Brazil, we provide a database throughout which we can search and provide statistics and observe subjects and compare biofield information through time. So this method of diagnosis of human organism is related to application of electromagnetic field to fingers contacting an electrode, obtaining visual images of resulting gas discharge streamers, and dividing images into sectors corresponding to various human organs and projecting these sectors onto a single image formed along the contour of the human body. So here we can see the algorithm of recognition of contour, which we use to extract and quantify biofield information through automated processing. Here we can see the division into sectors. This is a result of many years of bioelectrography imaging and statistics provided in Brazil, Russia and Germany that located 52 parameters that can be measured through stimulating with high frequency discharges human fingers relating to meridians. And some of this idea also comes from the principles of the Korean hand therapy and Chinese acupuncture. So the GDV Tesla Bio system provides the software where we can analyze the human energy field disbalances. For instance, here we have bioelectrography image of the thumb. I think it's the right thumb of a person that did have a kind of hyperfunction in the organ. Here the sector would be the throat. So here we have the original image. Here we have the processed images with the contour calculation and the projection of the human field, biofield according to the 10 bioelectrograph images. So our method is closely similar to the gas discharge visualization method of Dr. Korotkov. What we are seeking in bioelectrograph images is really a uniform discharge around the finger. So where we have alterations of the glow, like here for instance, we can see that this meridian, which was the subject's throat, is inflamed. So we have an excess in energy in this area, and wherever we have holes in the glow, we show hypofunction of the meridian of the organ. So in this way we can quantify energy disbalances in a certain area. Obviously the human organism is an integral machine, and through this practice we observe the energy body. It is very exact in terms of efficiency in observing chronic processes that are already manifested as illness, but also we can observe energetic processes and psychobioenergetic processes even before they become illness because of its presence in the human energy body. Here we have a bioelectrographic photo of before and after type of therapy, where we can see the energy disbalance, which is inflammation in the throat after an hour of therapy is being dispersed, but the pattern of chronic illness continues. So, mathematically speaking, we provide measuring of energy disbalances, and it has been shown in statistics that these type of geometric patterns in the bioelectrograph images repeat themselves through time. So the overall idea of graphics analysis of bioelectrography images is very important. We obviously have in our software graphics and reports that show graphically energy disbalances in certain areas that can provide clues for diagnostics. The idea is to provide a platform that can visualize and quantify the human biofield through time on the same subjects, trying various types of therapies. And here we can show comparison of two sets of data before and after type of practice. In our future work, we want to develop new devices that do not only capture one image before, during, and after a practice, which is really the problem of bioelectrography, but we want to develop sensors that we already have some prototype that can register in real time in 3 dimensions and display the information of the human biofield. I will show a little bit about how this device would look like. I will not talk more on what are the sensors. This is one of the device setups that was used in one research in Brazil. So here we can see the device connected to the computer and a screen. It has a high frequency discharge generator, digital camera, and a transparent electrode. And here we can observe the effects of a type of therapy. So in the inner circle we can see the before, and the outer circle we can see after application of therapy. This specific subject has problems with his kidneys here, and after ingesting a type of solution of nanoparticles, gold nanoparticles, 45 minutes after, his biofield improved. We provide statistical methods of extracting the data from our software that can be used in any type of statistics systems to accompany very serious research in terms of pattern repetition and providing clues on the effects of therapies, and even correlating through human biorhythm. I must repeat, we work with the analysis is an observation of the human energy field. The human energy field has its repeating patterns that are connected to balance and disbalance of energies, but it really is an ever-changing model. So real-time capturing is needed to improve the correctness of data. This is other type of research that we have done with sound healing. So we use digital bioelectrography to show the effects of crystal ball therapy on subjects during sessions of 1 hour. Here also we can see in the inner circle before and the outer circle after the application of therapy. Because of the size of the electrode, our device can be used also for research of vital energy of plants and foods. Many types of research with specimens of, for example, in this, which was done in Slovenia, have shown the difference in vital energy observed in types of organic apples, of non-organic apples, in a similar way, really recording the glow of the biofield of the specimen, which in this case was apple cut. With a certain extension, that is basically a syringe with a grounded electrode, we can also capture vital energy of liquids, and in this field we have done research together with people from the Association of Homeopathic Medics here in Brazil, and more work will be done throughout this year, and we will install one of the systems in Curitiba, in city of Brazil, where analysis of homeopathic liquids and their influence on the human patients will be done using GDV Tesla. Killianography historically showed really the differences in between specimens of liquids such as water, tap water, mountain water, stream water, or even magnetized or structured water. So this is one of the areas we are also seeking application. So GDV Tesla is a digital bioelectrography device that has a high definition colored camera and software with database with algorithm that can provide analysis and accompany through statistics effects of many therapies. Is an evolution of the Killian method and also an evolution of the GDV technique that we are focusing on the application in research in medical practice for clinics and also for wellness practice, and which is very interesting for us also for psychobioenergetics, research of psychic phenomena. We have many partners also here in Brazil, which are associations and groups of spiritists and people that have thousands of mediums working. And in the next 3 years, using this technology, we will reveal much more about the energetic processes of the human body. So here we have one of the prototypes of GDV Tesla Bio, and I will do a short test of the capture system.